I know. Oh yeah.
I know this one.
It's just a wedding podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Sound Precision Entertainment and Cufflink Media, Cleveland's best DJ, photo, and video team. When it comes to your big day, why juggle multiple vendors when you can have one amazing team? We're going to save you time, money, and stress because we're better together. From packed dance floors to photos and cinematic video, we've got you covered from I Do to the last dance. Book your wedding dream team today at spedj.com and cufflinkmedia.com. Find the links in the description below.
What is going on, guys? We are back with another episode of the It's Just a Wedding podcast. How we doing? How we feeling?
Julia, take it away.
Why do you want me to sing again?
Because I want you to get to a point where you just automatically sing our catchphrase.
Hold on.
just don't
Before
sing
we
all the
sing,
time.
we do need to acknowledge that just a couple of days ago, Julia has become officially old. So happy belated birthday. She is now in her late 20s.
Yes, 26 is the worst year of your 20s.
What is that?
You are wrong.
When you're 40, I wish I was turning 20.
When you're 50.
Oh my gosh.
When you're 50.
So happy belated birthday, but we do need to go. It's just a wedding.
It's just a wedding.
You disappoint me, Julia.
No.
Well,
All right, let's carry on here.
we're excited. So as you guys can probably see, we have another fantastic guest with us today. So I want to welcome you guys back to It's Just a Wedding podcast, the show where today we're pulling the petals off the petty and get real about what goes on behind the scenes of weddings. I'm one of your three hosts, Scott, and today we're diving into one of our juiciest topics in wedding floral world: copycats, undercutters, and creative theft. And I could not be more excited to bring our guest, Melinda Borsuch, founder and designer of Precious Petals, a full-service wedding and event floral design company based in Columbia Station, Ohio. With over 20 years of floral experience and more than a decade of heading her own studio, Melinda has learned the art of originality and service. Melinda, thank you so much for being here. We are stoked to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm
Welcome
excited.
on.
Thank you.
Welcome on.
How about that? ChatGPT killing the live read
Killing it.
again.
Employee
Absolutely
of the
nailed
month
it.
always.
So that being said, one of the things that we try to do, Melinda, is every episode we came up with the name. We're all kind of thinking, sitting around saying like, you know, brides are nervous. It's a big day. They're spending a lot of money. But we really want them to kind of keep in mind that like all that stuff is super important. We get how serious it is, but it's just a wedding. So one of the things that we think is fun to remind our brides is we start off episodes by having a wedding horror story or two, just to kind of remind them that, you know, your day might go poorly, but it's probably not going to go this poorly. So we like to kind of ask our guests, do you have anything that you can think of that has been a wedding horror story that you can share with us today?
Absolutely. Okay, let's take us back to COVID. COVID was a crazy time. Lost a lot of weddings.
I don't want to think about COVID anymore, yeah.
The few we had, it was great. I had a bride that we worked feverishly planning her wedding, down to the T, down to the timing, everything. It's the day before a wedding. It's going to storm. Now we're changing the timeline. I have another small wedding I have to drop off. She wants me there 4 hours early. Wow. Okay, well, listen, I will try. I cannot. Well, no, we're changing it. I need you here. So harassment after harassment. We tried to work with her.
Harassment.
Oh God, her mom calling me. I have dad calling me. I have everybody like
Oh,
it's
wow.
it's the world's coming to an end. It's 4 hours. I'm sorry you're changing your time. Yes, if you want to come pick up the bouquets, fine. Let's work with you. We can drop them off. No, I paid you to service it. I want you to service it.
So wait a
And I'm like,
second. How much in advance of their wedding did they change this 4 hour time?
24 hours.
Oh,
24 hours.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's
no.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay.
And mind you, like, listen, I don't overschedule myself. I'm down to the T on every schedule with time, everything like that. But this bride was insane. So show up there. She
No
won't
names,
speak to
please.
me. Yes, will not speak to me.
Fucking Sarah.
So wait, you're at her wedding, and you are bringing her florals in, and she won't even speak to you.
No.
Wow.
She's mad. Mind you, we were two hours later than she wanted and expected us to be there. So we negotiated with the other bride, changed times so we could get there on time, like set up. And I'm a major panicker. Like I have to schedule things like down to the T. And the unfortunate thing is she literally turned in one of those bridezillas that nothing went right her day. And so literally to the point that she was not happy with the way her photos turned out at the end of the night with her fireworks display, that she ended up going and having her dress dry cleaned, re-rented the suits, reshot the whole thing months
You're
later.
kidding.
Wow.
What?
Yep.
That's honestly, that's psycho shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild.
crazy.
Yeah. And the worst thing about it was that she literally destroyed me on Facebook. Like Facebook, like any marketing platform that you could go on with reviews and Google and all that, she destroyed me.
So
It
my
was
question
horrible.
to you is, did you maintain professionalism or did you fire the gun back at her?
I did not. I don't go there. It doesn't look good as a professional. I just sometimes those are the ones you live and learn from, and then you step back. But I'm thinking, God, there's so many worse things. We're in freaking COVID right now, and you're gonna do this.
40-year-old
Yeah.
Scott agrees with you. I would not fire back. 22-year-old Scott would have been fired.
I would have been juiced up in there, dude.
Oh, trust me, I wanted to.
So,
Did she mention at all in those reviews that she was the one who decided to last minute change things the day before?
Well, she didn't really see it that way. Her review was, I hired her as a professional to be here for me for the day. Mind you, our contract says you get me for 2 hours, and that time is negotiated before. But yeah, no.
Did you have other weddings that day too?
Just
like,
a
set up?
drop-off wedding? Because
Okay.
it was a residence home. We were dropping off wedding flowers, so super easy. We'll go do that. But then when time changed, she wanted me to drop everything.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
so
and then-
typically you can tell if a bride is going to be a little ridiculous.
Oh,
Were
hell
there any
yeah.
indicators of this bride, or was it just out of the blue?
no,
crazy?
she was great the entire time. Like she just literally
the
had
day
this
of, she's-
meltdown, and I don't think she was used to being told no.
So the only question I have that could even remotely sway my opinion, what was the reason that the wedding got bumped by 4 hours?
The rain. She wanted her pictures taken.
Okay, that's tough
prior
shit,
to the
yeah.
rain, right?
Okay, it'd be different. Like it'd be like, oh my God, like somebody had an emergency and they had to go to the hospital. Like if it was just like it's raining, well, too damn bad. That
That
happens. We
sucks.
live in
It's Ohio.
Such
Like
is life,
it's
yeah.
gonna rain. Like I don't know what
C'est
to
la
tell you.
vie.
It's you got 50-50. It's gonna rain and be a bad day, or it's gonna be good.
So we've
Right.
said it once and we'll say it again. Don't be that bride. Don't be that person. Every wedding vendor, at least most of them, are really doing their best to make sure that it's going to be like the exact way that you dreamt it up. And just don't be a shitty person.
Don't be that shitty person.
Be nice. Like don't take out whatever happened bad on your day on your vendors. Like some vendors you only see the day of, cool, whatever. And some you see the day after and you take out your whatever happened bad on them. Like just
Right.
chill, be chill. It's just a wedding. Be nice. We're
I
people too. We're not just vendors.
You're in this industry too. Like you sit down with a client right away. You know exactly what kind of personality they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be. I know that whether I'm charging them double because I really don't want them, or that I'm going to be able to work with them because I want them to be able to have that connection with me. If we
Yeah.
don't have a connection, there's no point in hiring
We
me.
literally just did a whole episode on what we call the wedding tax. And that is number one, just a wedding alone is going to raise the price. But then also, if you seem like you're going to be a pain in the ass, that is also a taxable offense in the wedding industry for sure. So before we jump into today's topic, I know Nick wanted to talk about the Nick's picks, which I hate.
This is
by the
very
way.
important stuff. You're going to learn to love it.
No, I hate it.
You got to continuously improve. So we need to add new things in there. And what a better way to talk about myself some more. So we do a segment called Nick's Picks where I discuss my favorite things about a wedding, and then I open it up to you guys to counter argument or agree. So today's episode, we're going to match your vibe. I want to talk about my favorite wedding flower, and then I want to hear your guys' favorite wedding flower. So I'm a classic man, okay? I think there is no better flower for a wedding, at least, than a rose. It's the flower of love. Got to be red. No colored roses my way. Red roses only. Maybe a splash of white, only at the altar. But a rose, red, color of love, flower of love. Thoughts, opinions. What do you guys think?
One downfall of that. If you have a red rose, then your color for your wedding is going to have to either be black, white, or red.
Sure.
Which is now coming back.
Yes.
Sure. Nothing wrong
But
with
if
that.
you have a bride that wants a different color, red roses ain't going to work.
Well, the problem
It's
really
my
is
wedding.
it's not
My
about
pick.
it's really it's about that red is just, I love red as you can see here, but it's a very bold color,
Yeah.
so like it really would limit any kind of like dress colors, centerpieces, you
Yeah.
know.
I would
lighting.
either, if my wedding, we'd have red flower, red roses. It'd be all white or all black dress code strict. Don't come if you're wearing any other
It's
color.
in.
and white
I
wedding?
mean,
You're
we've
going
already
black
had
tie
4
tie,
this year.
huh? Okay.
That kind of guy.
You can't afford to be a black tie
Sure
guy.
I can.
No, you can't.
I can.
All right. Well, before
What do you
hold on,
think?
before we go, she's the professional.
She's the
Melinda,
professional.
what is the flower that we need to know about at weddings?
I don't know. All my brides are peonies. You only get them in the springtime and the
That is
wintertime.
true. That
Like
is
you
very
don't get them in the summertime. yes, ranunculus, dahlias, you know, again.
Can I?
An
I do say
educated
peonies.
answer.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, can I say something that's probably not popular? I have no idea what a peony even is.
Brutal.
Oh, they smell so good.
Couldn't tell you what it is.
Those are the ones that grow at your house in the springtime where the ants have to open them up and then they blow open and they're really fragrant, but the ants come in the house with you.
He still has no idea.
Yeah.
They're really,
No.
they smell really good.
yeah.
I love
They're
the smell
so
of them.
pretty.
I know.
What I'm running into with answering this question is really the only flower that I feel like I know what it's called is a rose, and I don't want to agree with you, but I will say that if you're gonna do roses, I do like when they add in, I believe they're called the baby's breath. I think it gives it like a more like full kind of a voluptuous look. So it's probably not a very great answer, but I do like with the little extra little.
Yeah, no,
frilly
I'm
things.
not a baby's breath girl. I refuse to use it unless a bride wants it.
Wow.
I have 2
wow.
weddings this weekend that both have it.
They
no
do
offense,
go, they
but
do
they
fall
do.
off and make a little mess sometimes.
Yeah,
And
I'm
roses
just
are
not a.
expensive, man.
Yeah.
how
I
you do
do. My favorite flower is a rose, but I don't know if I'd do a red rose or like a stern rose. It depends on what color I want for my wedding. But like, I really like the whole cute wildflower look, with bouquets
Just
and
go
like
pick some weeds out the
centerpieces. I've seen.
backyard,
No,
wrap them
that
up.
Actually,
look
can I
weird,
change
but
my
they look
answer?
really pretty.
Is it not? Is the orchid like the purple one, or like what's like the one you see like purple and teal in bouquets?
Oh, so those are the stem-dyed orchids.
yeah. Okay.
Those are
Awesome.
pretty.
I do like those. Those are cool. So I'll change my answer to that.
What a phony.
But I don't know. I think like some sort of pretty wildflower bouquet, but it's not like too crazy, but something that like is very subtle but pretty. I don't know. That's what I've been seeing a lot, and I like it. I don't like the
That's
too
in.
poppy
Yep.
stuff, but yeah.
Asymmetrical styles
Yes.
is in. Let it flow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the flower talk, guys. Tune in every episode for another Nick's pick.
That is the lamest shit I've ever heard. Okay, let's get into actually what is some good content now
Hey.
today. So, Melinda and I, prior to sitting down today, we kind of brainstormed some ideas. And one of the things that we thought was important to talk about was this idea of, you know, what ChatGPT coined the Pinterest problem, okay? And we've talked about this with a multitude of vendors, but one of the things that I think is probably really prevalent in florals is you go on Pinterest, you go on some of these, Instagram, etc., and you see these unbelievable pictures, these bouquets. Sometimes they're not even at real weddings; they might be at styled shoots. And then we have brides that come in who've got a $1,500 budget, and they're showing you pictures of a $25,000 floral arrangement. So I thought it might be kind of good to dive into what should a bride expect? Like, what is the idea versus like, you know, what is just social media versus what is reality? Let's get into a little bit of pricing and just kind of dive into that a little bit. So in your experience as the florist at the table, how often do brides come to you with unrealistic expectations?
60% of the time.
Wow, more than half.
Oh yeah. And the problem is we live in this Pinterest world where, it's easy to collect all these ideas and store them and save them and share them. And then you look at it, and brides really need to be educated more on what they think they're getting for their budget, what they aren't. So many brides come in and they're like, oh, we love this. I got to have all these, blah, blah, blah. I send them some prices before even meeting with them because I know that their expectations are already high. So then they get it and then they ghost you. They don't want to, okay, any questions? Do you want to work within your budget? What is your budget? You know, those are all questions I ask the first time I talk to them, the second time I talk to them, and then you get ghosted. It's like...
Yeah, this term ghosted is really coming up a lot around the wedding industry. And I think that it's becoming very frustrating for florists, lighting designers. So a lot of times what happens is that these brides will go to a reputable florist, lighting designer, and they go in and they give their vision, and they have this professional put together the design for the bouquets, for the centerpieces, for the lighting. Then they take that quote and design that they received right down the street to the person who's going to bid the least amount of money to try and copycat that design.
Yeah.
And to me, you know, that is just another level of kind of being not a great consumer, right? Like, so if you are getting married, there's nothing wrong with, you know, seeking out multiple quotes and really making sure that you have the right fit. But what you don't want to do is take somebody else's design, take something that was specific to their company, and then literally take it down the road and have somebody else just implement that design.
Oh, yeah.
That's almost like stealing at that point.
Yeah.
It's-
So I won't even create like a visual board for them until they put the deposit down.
I like
And
that.
only because then you know they're not leaving you and going somewhere else, or they walk away from their deposit. No
Yeah.
big deal. But do you know how many times like brides will come there and we need this, and then they take your quote right over to the next
Smart.
florist, and then they're like, oh, I can do it for half that price. Good luck.
Cutthroat out here,
Yeah.
man. Jeez.
is.
Yeah. Or I get the brides who are like, I'm just going to Sam's Club my wedding. And then they Sam's Club it. And then a week or two before the wedding, they're like, I think I'm in over my head. I didn't realize I had to cut them, store them in water. I had to keep them cool. What am I going to do? Can you make the flowers for me?
So I have a very interesting
Yeah.
question because I'm a guy, and besides a rose, I don't know much about flowers either. What percentage of brides are coming to you, you're giving them the quote, and then they're like, I think I'm going to order some fake flowers from Amazon.
Ugh, Dad. You know, well, back in the day, fake flowers used to be cheaper. They're not cheaper anymore. So
Really?
the unfortunate thing is they're all coming from China. Now we got all these,
Yeah.
tariffs and all the stuff that's coming in there. They're double the price of fresh flowers. Do I use them occasionally? Like this past weekend, I just did solo wood flowers mixed with fresh flowers, and I will do that,
Wood
especially if
flowers
it's
are cool.
a significant.
I like the wood flowers.
Yeah. Super cool that they give it a different texture, which is fine by me, and the bouquets. But if I have to work half and half, I will. But I'm not going out and buying them. I let the brides buy them so they can choose
Makes
the quality that they want. Because if you get Walmart, Dollar Tree, they make your work look like shit.
Yeah.
Like, they
Oh,
really
yeah.
do,
Yeah, and so later on, we're actually the second part of today's topic is talking about like the discrepancy between real and faux flowers. So I think we'll dive a lot more heavily into that for sure. So one of the things I think all wedding people, wedding creatives have in general is they like this idea of being like creative, right? And whether you're expressing yourself through music like we do, or photos like Julia, or florals like you, do you think that this whole Pinterest culture has kind of stifled like your creativity or other creatives in the space, or do you think that it's kind of helped? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think it does. I think you have a bride that brings you this mood board that they have, and they're like, Pinterest this, Pinterest that. They don't want to think outside the box. They want pink flowers with pink dresses. How about colorful flowers with pink dresses? They want no originality whatsoever. So I will tell them, I will go off your vision, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to add my artistic ability to it, because if you don't, then you're going to look like every other Pinterest bride on there showing their board, which is no different than all the ones you're seeing all the time.
Right. Yeah, so let's just jump in and get to what we know that brides are going to specifically care about. So walk me through. Now, I'm not asking you to quote me specifics here, right? But like, let's talk about like a budget bride versus a high-end bride, and then probably the 80% of brides that fall right in the middle. Let's get into a little bit of dollars and cents. Like, what should a bride be expecting to hear when they come to talk about wedding florals? Obviously, there's a lot that goes into it, whether you're doing bouquets, centerpieces, boutonnieres, I understand. But, like, just give me, like, very rough ballparks of, like, 3 different levels of florals.
So, like, your budgeted bride that comes in, we're literally doing, like, your ceremony flowers, just the bouquets, boutonnieres, corsages. We're probably not doing corsages and boutonnieres for grandmas, grandpas. It's over the budget. Then you go into, okay, well, we're not going to do any flowers at the church or the ceremony location. We can DIY them. And then you'll go to the reception, and they'll be like, well, the venue has candles, so we're just going to accent with greenery. Can you just throw some baby's breath down? Yes, does it fit their budget? It does, but for our point is, it's a representation of our design style, and sometimes we don't want to take that.
So let's get into it. So if you are the ultimate budget bride, okay, what would be like, at least with your company, or let's even speak more relatively, what is like a minimum that a bride can get in and get some sort of professional floral work done at a wedding? Like a very roundabout.
I think you're probably minimum $3,000.
Okay.
I honestly, it's gone up so much. I could have, a couple years ago, I could have said $1,500, and you could have done a couple bridesmaids and some reception flowers and stuff, but you can't touch a lot these days without that.
So bouncing off that $3,000 number, what pieces are you going to get? You're going to get bouquets for the bridal party, centerpieces. What are those traditional normalized items? And then on the higher end, what are some of the auxiliary pieces that you're doing?
So like ceremony, you're going to do like an arch rental arch, and then you're going to have all the flowers on the arch. The nice thing about those is trying to figure out how you can maximize her budget, repurpose those flowers, and where to utilize them in the reception space. So we'll take them, like after the ceremony, it's pretty common. We take the flowers off there. We'll line the sweetheart table with it, or the head table with it, or accent a bar arrangement. Anything we can do to use those, you've already paid for them.
I've seen that a lot because there's times where after the ceremony, I took pictures of the space or whatever. I have to wait until the flowers get moved from the ceremony into the reception hall before I can take pictures of the reception of like all the decor because I have to reset the flowers.
Yep.
And brides and grooms, like
it's a smart idea.
she's spitting gold right now, because that is the difference between a professional and someone who does this as an amateur, where, you know, it might cost you a couple dollars more seemingly, but she's going to understand how to take those florals, repurpose them, and reuse them, and stretch your budget to give you the best outcome, you know, possible at a wedding like that.
And without having to spend a huge amount to pay for ceremony flowers and not repurpose them and then reuse them somewhere else. Or we did a wedding together a couple weeks ago at Aviator.
Yeah.
And she repurposed all of her arch flowers, and they brought them and put them on the head table.
That's what I was talking about, because I had to like wait and everything, and the flowers were really pretty. I kept complimenting the
and they had the stem-dyed orchids.
They did. They did.
See?
Wasn't it like a purple blue?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
really
beautiful.
Pretty.
So, toe in the water, you're getting married, professional florist, $3,000. So let's talk about the 80% of clients now who, you know, they are not on a really tight budget. They're not, you know, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. They are a normal person who wants it to be a very nice wedding. What kind of budget would that person be looking at traditionally?
I think you're looking $4,000 to $6,000.
Okay.
You know, a lot of these brides now, their expectation is, hey, I want candles. I want everything candles. And then with candles, we got to have florals. Well, you know, a lot of brides don't understand. It takes us days of cleaning them, storing them, washing them, filling up the candles, because I don't even do Tabor candles anymore. That wax is gone. We're filling them up with oils and such, which we used at that wedding.
Yeah.
But you don't even see half of the behind the...
Well, and I think even that's a great point, because, you know, in the old days, you know, a florist handled just flowers. And I think in this, a DJ used to just handle playing music. And in this new world of wedding production, your florists are doing candles, and sometimes they're doing seating charts, and they're bringing easels, and, you know, DJs were bringing lighting and photo booths and sparkulars. So, I mean, you know, it's no wonder that the pricing has gone up a little bit, but also the product offerings have gone up quite a bit, and the expectations of what we bring to the table has gone up a lot.
And
as well.
maybe we did it to ourselves, because we decided, hey, how else can we offer things to brides to bring them in? You know, because a lot of brides used to use rental companies, and then they'd get all that stuff, and we just do the flowers. And then we started saying, oh, hey, we can offer rentals, which in fact is okay, but now you're like midnight picking up. So you're going to the reception venue, and now we're picking up at midnight, picking up all the rentals because they don't want to return them to you.
So as an ignorant guy here, have you ever incorporated any herbs into arrangements at a wedding?
Yes. So we've done some with like your oriental cabbage and rosemary, thyme, lavender.
Now that would spark my interest.
I've seen a lot
Throw a
of
little mint in with the
eucalyptus.
roses?
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe I've seen rosemary
With the red rose.
or thyme.
But you get a lot of brides who are real sensitive to smells, so it's not for every bride, because you do get that pure fragrance on those with them. So
That's fire.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, and I think like one of the chapter marks on this will be, so it sounds to me like if a bride wanted to have at least a reasonable ballpark of what to expect, it sounds like on the low end, 3,000 seems reasonable to kind of get your toe in the water, and it could be as much as 5,000 or 6,000 if you really want to do things right and present your wedding in a really big way.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And then anything over $6,000, you're getting exactly what you want. We're there setting up. We're picking up that night. You know, we're doing the ceremony location, the reception location. So I think that my brides, I don't even take a wedding under $4,500 anymore unless they want to pick it up.
Whoa!
And
Whoa!
I know.
Hey,
I hate to
need
be
get
that
the
one,
flower
but
game
Precious
right.
Petals. Jesus Christ.
you know, the cost has almost tripled in flowers. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, they're coming from Ecuador and Holland, all these places. Now we got tariffs. So a rose might have cost us 95 cents then. It's $2, $3 now on, you get a specialty color rose, you're $4, $5. And how do you mark those up to give to a bride without doing that?
Yeah.
So
45 min.
I'm a numbers girl. I know my numbers. So when I sit there and I go reanalyze everything the year before, I know that I did not make what I need to make last year because I just didn't raise my prices. And this year, even if I'm not taking as many weddings, I know the ones that I can take, I can give my full ability to making sure that the bride's getting what they want, and they're going to love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was spoke with confidence right there.
Not an ounce of doubt.
Now,
Yeah.
before we get into something a little different and fun, I mentioned at the beginning of this that, we're wedding vendors, and I think a lot of wedding vendors tend to be a little bit petty, right? So I wanted to ask you about this gray area between inspiration versus imitation kind of in the world of, Pinterest and all that. Have you ever run across another florist in our market or beyond who specifically stole an idea or a look that was your baby?
Hell yeah. I was scrolling through Instagram, came across another floral shop advertising my centerpiece from a wedding 6 months ago.
They used your
and they
picture?
used it on my
They used your
picture.
picture?
They took my picture and put it on their social
No
media.
way.
Swear to God, Instagram and
Brutal.
Facebook. So I sent them a nice letter, and I'm asking you to take it down. This is my work. I don't understand why you'd steal it. Not one person returned my phone call. I finally had to get an attorney involved and write a deceased letter.
As you should.
Did
Take
they
that
take it
down.
down
They
then?
did.
Ha!
They had
That's
no
good.
problem taking it down then, but who does that?
Once you get to the point in life where you have an attorney, it makes everything better.
It does.
I say the word attorney and shit just happens. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It does. But it doesn't happen until you get an attorney involved.
Who does that? Like, you're a store. You have a storefront and you have brides, and you're sitting there making them think that is your design. Like, it's only happened the one time, thank God. But I mean, could you imagine?
So there was a company. So one of the questions that we came up with was like, have you come across any like logo lookalikes and stuff? And I'm not going to mention any names, but there was another company in Cleveland who started after our company who happened to choose the same colors of black and red. They happened to choose the same three letters as SPE, and they even went as far as our previous rendition of this logo had like the little like sound waves above it, and then they went and were telling people that they were the quote real SPE in the market. My attorney couldn't send them a fucking letter fast enough. I mean, their colors were pink and purple in a week. I mean that changed in a second. So sometimes they say imitation is a form of flattery, but for me, go fuck yourself.
I worked really hard.
Yeah, you can get inspired from someone, but you can't copy someone.
When we drop
No.
the thumbnail, it's going to be the song Ambitious as a Rider. You don't want to fuck with me.
So, kind of changing up gears a little bit here. Every episode, we tend to have a fun doing a little bit of a game here. So we wanted to keep this in your vibe and style here. So the game today is going to be called Bouquet or Buzzkill. And what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of throw out a couple different topics, and we're going to talk about, it's going to be a panel discussion. Do we think it's a good idea, bad idea, like it, love it, hate it? And we kind of keep it rapid fire kind of thing. So the first one, along what Nick said, although not the right color, it's white roses everywhere in the Kim Kardashian style for a ceremony arch. White roses for an arch, like it, love it, hate it.
I like it. I see it a lot, actually. It's very common.
It's classy. It's classy, and
Timeless.
you actually get more for your worth with roses because you're buying that whole bunch. So whether you're using that whole bunch or not, the bride is getting more value made out
Yeah,
of
and
those.
I
So
love-
a lot of brides will go with just a rose.
Yeah. And I think for the ceremony, I think it's very elegant looking, especially for the ceremony space and like the time for that. Because that's the very, that's almost the most elegant part of the day where you walk down the aisle, and that makes it, I don't know, it makes it full.
It looks like money. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
If you got roses, you're a baller, and it makes sense why me and Kim K have the same ideology.
The stuff that I want to say right now is unbelievable. So I'm actually going to agree. I think white roses are about as classy as it gets. So for me, that would be the Bouquet and not Buzzkill. The second one, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to rely on you because I don't even know what the hell this means. So it says pampas grass and dried palms at every wedding.
100% buzzkill. You can't even go
Buzzkill.
further with that.
So can you describe exactly?
Yeah,
I know
I
what a palm is, but what is
don't know
what
what
is
pampas
pampas
Okay,
grass?
so pampas grass is that stuff that grows along the wetlands where it's that grassy stuff that flows through
like
the
the
air.
fuzzy looking
and
thing?
yeah, and it's so much fun. And then it dries, and then you have to shake it and fluff it, and then for 3-4 months you're cleaning out pampas grass out of your entire building, air
I
conditioner
still don't know.
units.
I'm about to look Google a picture real quick.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I wanna
it's
see what it
like,
looks like.
super cool. Now the palm leaves, okay, they're just dried, so you're in that boho style. So you're adding the palm leaf with the pampas grass.
I actually kind of like
Those are kind of grass. We have that shit up there. Isn't that kind of like pampas
Yeah,
grass a little
that's-
bit?
yeah.
That's like a fake one.
It's a fake one.
Here, Scott.
I kind of
yeah.
like them.
It's fun, but I will tell you what our worst nightmare is a florist. So
Yeah.
I buzzkill 100%.
So I've seen that you're exactly right, like the boho style themed wedding where you have like a lot of like the the
The
burnt
wooden,
oranges
yeah.
and some of
Yep.
like the more like mauve pinks and things of
I
that
like it. I
nature.
think it looks nice when you have a bouquet
I
like
can
that
see
with
why
them
from
in
your
it.
perspective you're like,
Yeah.
no, we're good. Yeah.
Here's my thing is you do a centerpiece, but brides don't think about it. It looks awesome in a centerpiece, but as the air movement up in the air is coming, everything's coming down. It's landing on your food, your table, your everything. We did a wedding 3-4 weeks ago with a bride that had them. She loved them. And then she reminded me that, oh, hey, I now know what you're talking about, because you see it flying through the air.
Yeah, I think I only like it in as a bouquet. I don't think I've ever seen it as a centerpiece.
Oh, yeah.
And now I understand why.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. If a guy has a blue suit on and that grass is like shedding and it's blowing on the suit.
yeah.
Now the photographer who's wanting to take a clean
Has to
picture is
edit
now
it all
going over
out,
there
yeah.
and editing it or cleaning it off.
Okay, buzzkill it is. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to the professional here.
Yeah.
So buzzkill it is for me. All right, so we at our company, at least on the DJ side, we have some funny names. So we have the kit, the caboodle, and the whole kit and caboodle. That's our package names, which are kind of corny, but I think they're funny, so we do it. So this one is florists naming their arrangements, maybe even after a celebrity. Like this is the Hailey Bieber. So. Do you have package names? Do you name your different bouquet styles, or do you think that's just lowbrow and trash?
I do not. And that's the first time I heard of that. So I might just have to start
You might need
renaming
to get
things. I
yourself
might need
the
to be on this trend.
Bieber,
The Kim
L-
Kardashian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently it's a thing now where when florists are presenting their work to people for memory purposes, they're naming this particular style as the Bieber.
I
Yeah.
think it's a good idea,
Bieber.
especially if you name it the Hailey Bieber. Shout
This
out
guy
to Biebs.
is in love with
I'm
Justin
more of a
Bieber.
Selena
Oh my
Gomez
God.
I swear.
gal
Yeah.
than a
She's so
Hailey Bieber.
cute.
I like Selena better. I'm a Selena girl. Not
Well,
a Haley.
Haley won.
No.
Nah,
I think
Selena
Selena
Gomez,
won.
dude.
Selena Gomez
She's
won.
with what's that guy's name? Benny Blanco.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't matter.
Dude,
She's
that's
still
wild.
hot.
She
Yeah.
is
I don't
hot,
care.
but-
I
Yeah.
still love Selena.
Betty
I love. She was
Blanco-
my childhood idol, like growing up, and I love
And what
her.
makes her better is her personality.
Yeah, she's
like
so
she just
sweet.
the sweetest.
She's not mean. Like Haley, questionable. But you got Selena. She's so sweet. Everyone.
Shots
I
fired,
like her.
Haley. What I can say though is Benny Blanco might be the luckiest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that dude looks like he could easily be a gerbil, to be honest with you. I mean, like,
Brutal.
I'm just being
I hope
honest.
that goes
See, I
viral.
think
because
I think like it's good because he treats her right. Like, I think that's all that matters to her. Finding a guy that actually treats her how she should be treated.
that was
Absolutely,
cute and all,
yes.
Julia, but Biebs and Haley all day. Sorry.
No, he went off the wire. Like what?
So it sounds like we are in the middle, but it sounds like we might give this a bouquet positive.
I'm cool
I
with
think it's
Bouquet
fun
on that.
naming.
I think it's a cool
bouquets.
idea.
Bouquets names, yeah.
So this one I'm going to be really interested in. Rather than your typical soft neutrals, what if bouquets and florals were bold and color blocked? Now, for me, this is going to be absolutely bouquet because we do lighting, we do all kinds of decor stuff, and if I have to do one more fucking wedding with champagne lighting or gold or soft pink, like my head is going to pop off my shoulders.
Dude, I'm
Bring
okay.
back the color, baby. Bring it back.
I think the colors are. I see them. I think they're fun, like the poppy colors. But personally, I don't know if I could do that. But like for me, because I'm more of a soft, like, kind of like not.
I'm one of
Buzzkill
the-
out
crazy.
Julia.
No. I like them. No, because I've taken pictures of like really pretty poppy like bouquets, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for it. But I think it just really depends on the bride's style, really.
I'm a tie-dye girl. I love my color. Everything's color. When I got married, everything was full color. There isn't a color I don't like. Maybe red. Roses. Just kidding. But I absolutely love the color. So I always try to give my bride a visual on, okay,
Yeah.
so you have pink dresses. How about let's go higher tones of pink, or let's bring in another color, coral, maybe pale yellow. I don't know. Like, why does it gotta be pink on white? You know,
I don't know if I like
Floral.
that. Like, if I was to do a pop of color, maybe like hot pink or like a fun, like bright color, but I don't think I'd do all bright colors.
Yeah.
Like of different ones.
So when
Chris,
I got
listen
married,
up.
we did the black, and we did like the teal. Yeah. I'm a big teal guy. Like, I love teal.
Teal's
It's
really
good color.
pretty.
It's
I like
pretty color.
turquoise.
So yeah, I mean, to me, there's nothing wrong with having, you know, some of the, you know, the lesser crazy colors. But sometimes, if you're for the right bride, I do think that the bold, the bright statement is actually making a statement in itself.
Yeah.
You know how I feel? Red flowers, red roses.
Guy's bold. All right, last one in the game. Interesting one. How do we feel about celebrities such as Kylie Jenner launching their own floral design line?
She did that?
Did she actually do
Apparently,
that?
that's a thing. Yeah.
Wow.
So, listen, ChatGPT is my source here. So
Well,
It
Fact
must
check
not
that,
really
but-
be a thing because I've not heard of it yet either.
it must not
Maybe.
be
Can
good
we
if
say-
none of us
But I
have
know
heard
they're
about it.
constantly launching like makeup lines. They're launching lines for like different beverages. So sometimes like they're just using their name to launch a brand.
I think so, but I don't think any of them really had a crazy success other than like Kylie Jenner's makeup line for a bit, but now it kind of like dropped off the
Hey,
cliff.
she's a
No one
billionaire
really
with
gets
a
it
B.
anymore.
I consider that a success. That girl's got.
How about I'm not a Swiftie, but how about we take it to Taylor Swift's wedding? I mean, those proposal flowers were amazing. I mean, that's
really
my vibe.
pretty.
That's my
I
style.
like
I
'em.
100% love it.
You know what I didn't love about that? So, you know, we do photography, and I know that I'm going to get killed for this because it's going to be becoming a style because of it.
Yeah.
So they had that, like, it was like the direct flash. Like, clearly that's a look. At least in Ohio, by standards of professional photography, that was actually considered probably more amateur. Normally, professional photographers are bouncing light and stuff, but she had that very, like, almost like paparazzi gloss on them. And a prediction that every photographer is making is I think that because of that, you are going to see that become a style in
I
the
actually
next
like
couple
that.
of years. You like that?
I do.
I mean, I feel like it's something that can grow on me, but it just caught me off guard because it felt like I was like, man, this is Taylor Swift. It should be so much
I don't know
better.
if I like that style because it's very hot on your focal point, and then the rest is very dark. So
Yep.
then when you go to editing, it's like an absolute nightmare. You have to like do different layers, different masks if you want to make it even, or you could just stick with the uneven lighting look and then have you look hot, and then the background look really dark. It's very dramatic.
I think it's pretty G.
Well, that was fun. It's always fun to play one of those games. This time it was the Bouquet or Buzzkill. So Nick kind of foreshadowed a little earlier something that I wanted to get into, and they called it The Great Divide, Team Fresh versus Team Faux. So let's dig in a little deeper to this idea of fresh florals versus faux. Now, the first thing that was a big learning point for me is I had zero idea that faux flowers could actually be more expensive than real. That was news to
Neither
me.
did I.
So that is number one. So that alone changes a lot of what I'm going to say. So when I got married, now this was 13 years ago, I remember that my florist said that like his opinion at the time was he typically went about 70% real or natural and about 30% faux, and that was kind of what he recommended. So that's my only time getting married, hopefully the only time. But would you say that's about typical? Is that too much faux, not enough faux? Like, walk me through kind of what you see.
Too much faux. I think back in late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of brides did that because we didn't have all the opportunities of shipping for the flowers. So now pretty much any flower we can get through the whole year except peonies and dahlias because of that seasonality of them. But back then when brides wanted them and needed them, that's when the fall flowers came in. So that's when they started mixing those ones, especially if you're doing a winter wedding and you want dahlias or spray roses, delphinium, any of that kind of stuff. But as we've gone through, the fake flowers used to be really inexpensive. So a lot of brides would be like, hey, I'd rather have fake bouquets than I'm just not talented at doing fake flowers. I've never learned how to do it. I've done all fresh. So for me to say, okay, I'll do your bouquet, it's going to take me twice as long to make that bouquet because I have no clue what I'm doing.
One thing that I do hate is like when you go to like Pat Catan's, they have like that like green foam shit. It's so gross. It gets
It is.
all over everywhere. Like it's not
That
good.
stuff sucks.
It does suck.
Pack of Tans, what a throwback,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Is there
I
even
know.
Pack of Tans
No,
still
they closed
open
down.
anymore?
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember getting like clay.
I'm a
from there.
4-year-old
Yeah.
man. Packatans was where it was
It
at.
was the bomb.
It
I
was
know
really
about
cheap.
Pack of
Kids'
Tans.
grabs,
Trust
every-
me.
yeah.
I'd go there and get like clay for school for my
Yeah.
ceramics class or
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, here's a question I have because I see this a lot. I don't know if I should blame the florist or if it's just a hazard of the job. So one of the things that happens kind of regularly, particularly in Ohio in the months of July and August, are when you see people who have bouquets, they have boutonnieres, and sometimes before the ceremony even starts, these flowers are just like, meh, and like they're already like dead.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a problem of the florist? Is that just simply that it's super hot outside? Because to me, that would be one of the things where it's like, hey, if you have a faux flower, it's going to look great. The moment you put it on, it's going to look great the next day, whereas sometimes real flowers look like shit pretty quick.
Right. I think as a florist, you have to use your design style to create the bouquet, the boutonnieres, like later on in the week. Plus, too, it all depends on how you process your flowers. So if you're processing them better and you're letting them fully hydrate, because we're getting boxes and boxes that have been out of water for a week of flowers. So by the time we get them, we have to cut them, we store them in water, we put them in the cooler, they hydrate. So as long as they're getting hydration, then typically they don't wilt. Yes, the heat does play a role on it, but in July, August, it's going to be hot anyway. Don't plant a boutonniere that is going to wilt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you have a groom that is a big hugger, that's one of my questions. Are you guys like chest bumpers? Are you hugging? Because then I always give
That would
extra
be this guy,
boutonnieres.
like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm always sending extra boutonnieres because you know for a fact that the minute that they go to be guys, that boutonniere is destroyed, and then the bride is having a breakdown because, oh my God, my picture's gonna be ruined because someone's boutonniere is broken. So
Okay. I never
That
thought
makes
about
sense.
that.
And it comes up kind of a lot because we see it with the boutonnieres, we see it with the bouquets, but you talked about the floral arches earlier. And sometimes, man, those poor arches just look beaten and tattered before the ceremony even happens.
Yeah.
And you're going like, man, they probably paid a mint for all what was going on up there, and it just does not look
Yeah.
great.
So we'll soak our Oasis, which is that foam. It's not the silk foam, but it's like absorbs the water. So we'll soak that for a good amount of probably 2 or 3 days before we even start creating it. But I think the killer thing is that when we go to install those arch flowers, we have a fertilizer sprayer that we fill up just with water, and that's how we hydrate the flowers. So then once they're in place, we'll then take the water sprayer, we'll spray the Oasis, and it absorbs the water again, which then helps the flowers to keep hydrating and then keeps them from wilting as much. Your hydrangeas, you get a little mix, but if you're doing it the right way, you're not going to have
I forgot
that.
about hydrangeas. I
Hydrangeas
love
is a
They're
killer,
really
yeah.
quick, yeah.
So let me ask you this. When it comes to flowers, so I feel like with technology, everything has gotten better. As a professional, the answer for me is absolutely not. If somebody had 10 bouquets in front of you and they were all different from 100% real to 100% fake to different categories in between, do you feel like from a 10-foot distance you would know exactly what was real versus what was fake, or have they gotten good enough to where even you could be fooled?
Yes, they can be. I think that if you're not a flower person and don't love flowers, it doesn't matter whether they're silk or not. They won't recognize it. It's just the way that it is. I think that, you have different levels of flowers. You have your Walmart flowers. You have your Hobby Lobby, which actually has nice flowers. And now you have Real Touch flowers. So those Real Touch are like a rubbery flower that absolutely looks and feels real.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I could tell from a 10-foot.
I
So I'm
don't
that
think you-
guy on.
I guarantee
I'll tell you.
you-
I'll tell
I
you
don't think you
why. You want to know
can.
why? Because I have never missed a cake on Izzy Cake.
What?
Ever.
I always can tell the real cake.
That's different.
No, it's not.
Because I can even name that out. Like
He's
that's
the one
different.
that's licking the cake as he's going by it.
What
He's
I
like-
Yeah.
find about Nick
I can tell every time.
is
No.
Promise
if
you.
you
I
think
doubt
of in your
it.
life the
Promise.
most full of shit person you've ever met, I promise you he will
sick.
exceed that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, at least he can
She
tell
was
it
like-
That was
well.
very pompous of you.
Julia was like, yeah.
No.
As she turns her mic, she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the last thing I want to ask as it
Terrible.
pertains to the Team Faux versus Team Fresh. So when I got married, there's all kinds of cool like preservation shit that happens nowadays. And my wife, if I remember correctly, like her bouquet was like dried and then it was like ground into a powder and like they made a necklace out of it. So Is that
Yeah.
something that you're still seeing? Are you involved in any of that? Or like walk me through like any kind of like things that brides could actually do? Because like a lot of the faux flowers, like, well, it lasts forever. Man, what are you gonna do with it? But there are some cool things that you can do with real flowers that help you kind of keep those memories as a keepsake. So is there anything cool that you've seen?
Yeah, so right now, that Timeless Expressions is one that does the flowers, and they'll make them into beads. So you'll have a necklace, you can do a bracelet. I mean, you're costly. You're $1,000 probably for those.
My mother-in-law, she'll buy all of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't
and then you
matter.
have epoxy, and you have your flat lay flowers now.
Is that what they put them in the book and press
Yeah.
them? Okay.
And then now they're putting them in glass trays, and then like little frames with you did it.
So for my brother that passed away for his funeral, we all took some of the flowers from his like bouquets and like his favorite ones and things like that, that were on his like casket and all that stuff. And we did the epoxy, we dried them out, and then we're getting like the resin and we're putting it in that to like preserve them.
That's cool.
Some of them we dried out, hung upside down so that they still like kept the
their shape.
So we have like a dried like little bouquet of his flowers from his funeral. We'll have some that are flattened in like books and things like that. So I think it's really nice to do all that. I
It
didn't
is
know about
fun.
the necklaces.
I know. I still think that epoxy is the most popular, and brides love it because you can make little trinkets like a ring holder or
Yeah.
coasters or bookends or whatever you want. But you're gonna pay. I mean, your
Yeah.
minimum probably $400 or $500 a piece for those things,
And you
and it
can-
takes time.
Yeah, and you can do it yourself if you
Yeah.
want to. Like if you go to Hobby Lobby, they have like little kits. That's what we ended up getting. But then we had to buy some like special molds from like Amazon or stuff because of whatever specific things we wanted. Like we wanted a giant like triangle. They didn't have that at Hobby Lobby. But I think it's a really nice idea. It's sweet.
So you dry the flowers upside down so they hold their shape. Is that why?
So back in the
Or-
day before epoxy and flat lays, yes, you could do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you literally then just have your dry bouquet.
'Cause
So then you
I
put
was
it in a
like-
box or.
I made like I strung them all together and I hung them upside down in my closet for a while to dry them out.
I
so
wondered
that they
why,
have-
because I see everybody hanging their weed upside down, and I'm like, why are they hanging their weed upside down?
That's definitely to dry it out better.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that's cool. And like they have that weird like dust stuff.
Yeah, the
too.
silicone sand.
The silicone. We
Silica
use
sand,
that too.
yeah.
We like put the flowers in, and that way it dries and they stay with their color. Like
Yeah.
if it's
Oh,
a
wow.
bright yellow
So it
flower,
forms the
stays yellow.
shape and it keeps the shape up.
I can definitely see things being costly, but for a market where like being sentimental is like the whole thing. Like let's just say you've spent $60,000 to $100,000 on your wedding. It doesn't seem that ridiculous to spend $1,000 on a necklace pressed from your wedding bouquet or
Not
something.
at all.
So brides, if you're not hip to that, do some Googling, do some research, because there are some really cool things that you can do to either preserve or just keep those memories and keepsakes on the back end.
I've done it. It's not an easy thing. It took me 2 epic fails to finally get the routine of doing it and drying it, and it's like I'm a instant gratification person. Like I want to see it now, and this has to be like you can do an inch pour at a time, and you got to let it sit for 24 hours, and then you got to do another inch pour, and I'm like,
Yeah, I
is this
saw
ever
that.
going to be
Yeah.
done? Like what the hell?
One of my close family friends will make those all the time for people, especially like little memorabilia ones, where she made one for my family, for my brother, where she put sand and like ocean things.
Oh,
and she
yeah.
put a picture in there, but she like does it for people and like people pay her to do it. And
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty
just
cool.
a little hobby that she turned into like
A little
Doing-
business.
yeah.
That's good.
for
Nice.
her. So, as a floral professional, I wanted just to get your opinion on like the future of wedding like floristry, right? Like, I don't think flowers are going anywhere. They're timeless. They've been a part of weddings for as long as anybody can remember. Do you foresee anything new, different? Do you foresee, I know that it became a trend for a while that people are being like very like eco-friendly and green. Like, what's kind of like your prediction or vision for the future?
I see actually, I mean, it's gotten non-traditional now, but they're getting more non-traditional. I think we'll see like no corsages, no boutonnieres. I think they're going to cut all those little things. I barely do toss bouquets anymore. I think they're taking that money and putting it towards the actual flowers they want for centerpieces, for their sweetheart table, for
I
the
was hoping
ceremony.
you were going to say they're putting that money towards the DJ. I was like,
Well, see, they book all you first, so then I get like the little bit of money that they have left for the weddings.
That's funny.
Brutal.
No, that makes sense. And in some ways, it's funny because Nick and I we talked about this on the podcast where like sometimes like it's cool like traditions like out like we don't see the bouquet toss as much and the garter removal especially and a couple of those things. But in some ways, it's a little bit sad because like you hate seeing some of those traditions go away. But they say that everything in weddings is, is cyclical. So likely, at some point they'll kind of make their way kind of back into what's going on.
I truly think that they want to spend that extra money on late night munchies or, do you guys supply those little things that they wave, the light up sticks?
So here's what I tell my clients. I'm like, look, I will source them for you. But what I'm going to do is buy them and mark them up and sell them to you. If you want me to do the work, happy to do it. But for most people, I'm like, go online, you're going to buy them, and we'll put them out and stuff. But like, we have sourced them for people. To me, it's like just a waste of money because I'm going to be like, oh, what do they cost? $130. I'm going to charge you $230.
Right.
So it's one of those things. But some people, it's not about the money. It's about the just having the experience of having it taken care of. So we're happy to do that.
I do see the brides who are like, I don't care what it costs, just do it because I don't want to do it. Or I have right now still a lot of moms who are planning their bride's wedding because they're out of state or they're going through college or taking an MCAT test. Like these brides like literally have given all of that control over to their moms. And I don't know if you ever had this, but I sit down and I have a mom and a daughter here and we're going over wedding flowers. And then all of a sudden, mom calls me a day later and says, this isn't what I want. I'm paying for it. I get what I want. And then I was like, I had to have the conversation and been listen, it's a bride's day. I'm sorry. I'm not doing. I had to fire her mom. Like I had to fire her. And then the daughter went with her because after
the
all,
daughter went with her.
so unfortunately, she knew who was paying. But I'm not going to be that florist that shows up on wedding day and then all of a sudden they're like, "That's not what I wanted. I didn't order that." And then mom and daughter get in a fight, and in the end, who loses? Me, because mom and daughter are making back up.
We have that more than you can imagine with what songs are getting played. Are we playing rap? Is it going to be all oldie? I mean, I feel like every wedding vendor lives that. That could be its own horror story. I'm sure.
That's the biggest thing of like the mom and the bride butting heads all the time.
For sure. So before we get into our last topic here, which Nick is going to run, I do think we'd be remiss to not mention you are a little bit of what I would call like a double threat in the wedding space because not only are you a floral professional, the way I understand it, you also help plan vacations such as honeymoons and things of that nature. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that might be even more fun in some ways. But so why don't you just tell some of the people watching a little bit about like what that entails, what you can do to help, and just kind of give them some general information so that if they do want to reach out to you for that, at least they know that it's something you do, what to expect, and where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So about a year ago, I jumped in and I became a travel advisor. A lot of certifications, a lot of studying, a lot of classwork that we had to do. A lot of people just thinking, oh, hey, I'm going to be a travel advisor and you don't have to do that. So I wanted to take it to the route where I wanted to be able to do group trips, destination weddings, and honeymoons. So I went through different resorts and did their certification program. So I knew what I was able to sell, what I could sell, what they were entitled to when they had a destination wedding or a honeymoon there and such. I'm a little over a year into it. I love it. I have my first destination wedding in February. Ooh. Super excited. It's going to be at Unico 2087, which is in Mexico, Riviera, Mexico. It's fun. I'm really enjoying the process of it. It's a lot of work, but being able to jump in and offer that to a client, a bride who wants a smaller, more intimate wedding, or they want, hey, let's have a fun trip, let's get married while we're there kind of thing.
And I think what's cool is like similar to like the DJ and the photo booth and the lighting, like I feel like potentially like one client of yours could certainly be the other client. So it's kind of like something that you can cross-sell to your exact same client, right?
Absolutely. And the nice thing is I've already had that relationship established with the bride and groom. Ooh. And so not only have I done that, now mom and dad want to book a trip, so who are they going to call? The person that the bride and groom loved, or aunt, uncle want to plan a trip somewhere else. What can we do? So I work with a company called Travel with Awestruck. There are a bunch of other advisors in our area here and a couple out of state. I think there's 12 of us are in the group now, and love it. It's great. It's been a learning experience, and I've been told I have to have patience because everything takes a little bit to get going. And I wanted instant gratification because that's me. So I'm learning, but yeah, they can go to my website. And now on my website, we've integrated both. So we also have consultation request forms there. We have our pictures, and now I have a whole travel section. So you can go in there if you want to inquire about a family vacation or honeymoon destinations. What do I recommend? What do you prefer and such? And then also destination.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Have you seen the movie A Tourist Guide to Love?
No, but I heard it was good.
You need to watch
I
that.
haven't seen that.
If I'm a rom-com
Is it
guy.
new?
You
Rom-com?
gotta watch it.
Okay.
It's about
Another
this girl.
reason that makes him an amazing catch, ladies. Rom-com.
Listen, the girl's a travel advisor or something. She goes to Vietnam thinking she knows what's up, meets a local, does nothing on her list, and falls in love. It's great.
That's awesome.
Watch it.
Sounds
Such
terrible.
it had to be a Hallmark movie on Netflix. No.
So let me ask you this question. Only a year into it, so we won't hold you to it. But like, based on your year experience, give us like your top 3 to 5 destinations that you think like every couple should consider, either for their honeymoon or for a destination wedding.
So your destination weddings are huge in Hawaii, Cancun, and Punta Cana.
Okay.
Hawaii because you want that magical experience, but you're going to get a more intimate group. Where
What island is the big one? Because I went to Maui.
I love Maui.
Yeah.
I always say Hawaii, but I want Maui because I just fell in love with that island, and I haven't been to another one yet. It's a little bit easier to plan weddings and such there, but they also do it Big Island. And then your Cancun and Punta Cana, those are easy, inexpensive. So if you want to have a big wedding and you want 100 guests, it's easier and less expensive
And
for
it's
them
so
to
pretty
attend
down
to that.
there.
It is. And then like your top honeymoon destinations, like your Sandals properties. So they're all in the Caribbean islands. You're getting Antigua, you're getting St. Lucia, Barbados, Curacao, Jamaica, Bahamas, and then you have your secrets, which they're 2 different vibes. So like if you go to a Sandals resort, have any of you been there?
I've never been to Mexico ever.
Really?
No,
I'm going to break you of this.
I would love to go. Listen, I would love to go to Mexico.
It's so much fun.
Me too.
Mexico
Let's go.
gets a
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
name
I've never
because
been
a lot of
outside of the
people.
Is it
country.
dangerous?
It's not dangerous.
Listen, I'm like very concerned that I'm gonna get
That's
like
why my
abducted
parents
by
never
like a
told
drug
me never
lord.
to go there.
Don't be a
If you
pussy.
really, if people do the research on Mexico, Cancun, Mexico is entirely different than Juarez, Mexico, which is over the border of El Paso. And you have all these different areas where El Paso, cross over that border into Juarez, you're freaking like drug lords over there. There's shootings, there's everything.
They
I
would
do have
return
a
you,
question. Is
Yeah.
it true not to drink the tap water?
No, you can. All the resorts now, literally, you can drink the tap water. They're filtered systems. I've been traveling there probably 28 years, and back in the day when we literally landed on an airport, the tarmac, and walked off, we didn't have anything. There was no customs. You had a birth certificate if they stopped you. That was it. But now
Okay.
it's like,
One of the things that hopefully you don't find out about being a online personality is people love to just shit all over you.
Yeah,
and one of the things that it just made me think of when you talk about the drug lords is recently I was called a dollar store mob boss, which I kind of was like, that's fucking sweet. And I was kind of like brutal. I had both opinions of it. So yeah, I might just Juarez. I might fit in Juarez.
What's up, dude? Let's go.
dude, it's a cool area, but you got to be on your toes,
No, I'm
man.
staying out.
It's a lot of
I'd
drugs
be in
going
the
on
streets with them. Just
No, you got to keep me. I want to be like in the suite where I got my own shit, my own pool, my own shit. Like when I go to Vegas, like we do it right. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, I don't want to be with the peasants out in like the public pool. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm doing. So
there. Oh no.
fucking guys out of control.
yeah, I'm sorry. That's how I feel. All right, now let's wrap this thing up. And we always have something that Nick is going to head up. So Nick, what are we doing?
You already know, Scott and Julia, we're doing the No Tucks Given segment. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
You'll see it when it plays back. This is a segment where we dedicate it towards the grooms because historically, we're always talking to the bride, we're aiming at the bride, but I want to get the guy more involved, okay? And this is my way of talking directly to the groom. And the segment today is called Blooms for the Grooms. We're going to be talking about guys' flowers in particular. So there's a few talking points that I have. The first thing is I want to know, is it important for the bride or for the groom's flowers to match the color scheme or something to match his own personality?
Rule of thumb, it used to be where they had to match. Now the brides are going because the guys don't want to wear color. Or the guy doesn't want to wear pink, or you know,
Right.
he doesn't like that color. So I try to think outside the box now, which I love. I'll do like personalized boutonnières. So this past wedding, we had little Lego guys, and the bride had each Lego man that looked just like the groomsmen.
That's
That's
hilarious.
So
freaking
each of them
sweet.
got them. I mean, it was a pretty penny for them, but who cares? Those groomsmen loved them. We put them in a pocket square. You know, it slid right into the suit pocket.
And they get to keep
Super
it.
cool. Yeah, I've done shotgun shells where we just put a couple pheasant feathers in there, and it's it's not your flower, and it represents the groom's like personality.
I like
We've done
that.
deer antlers, like little miniature deer
Keep
deer
it going.
antlers.
Give the groom groom some
beer
more
beer
stuff there.
caps, like each
Beer
groom then
caps,
had
that's
beer
cool.
caps, so they would save their favorite beer caps, and then we'd string them, and then put them on there, and some greenery
Okay.
with them.
I like
This
it.
is what
Wine
this,
corks.
this segment
This is
is
a segment
about.
that's
Like,
legit.
fellas, like, it doesn't have to be the one rose and the baby's breath. Like it can
Oh.
be. It can be.
Make it fun.
It could be unique to you. It could represent you, your bridal party, your buddies. Wow, that actually
That's
exceeded
awesome.
my
That helps,
expectations.
yeah.
I'm
yeah.
very glad with how it
'Cause
turned out.
normally I-
But what were you saying?
Because normally I just see like a white rose and like baby's breath, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
normally I don't see any cool.
And
stuff
those are
like
those
that.
brides who are blinded by Pinterest, and then they're like, "Oh my God, because Pinterest has it, I have to have it." But when I sit down and I meet with my couples, I want to know exactly what their personalities are like, because then you can tweak it. Like, hey, why don't you guys got a fun group? Why don't you get socks of the groom's face on them and give them to the groomsmen for a gift? Those are all the little things that you need
Yeah.
to
That's
make
so
that
G.
day fun. And the guy does. He totally gets lost in this whole thing unless he wants to be a part of Flowers. But what stage
Dude,
does
the
he really
shotgun
have?
shell, that is gangster.
It was
as
super
fuck,
fun.
dude.
We put pheasant feathers in it.
That's cool.
It was a blast.
So you mentioned on it briefly, chest bumps guys, huggers, dapping guys up. How do you avoid a bruised boutonniere?
Don't do
don't
that.
don't do it, or give the extra one like I do. Like I'll send extra flowers just so
Oh,
it
you'll
isn't.
send extra
But
ones.
a lot of the guys, I'll tell them when I'm pinning on and we joke. The guy's like, "Ow, oh, you picked me." Everybody does it. Every groomsman does it. Cracks me up. But literally, I always tell the guys, listen, these are gentle. So if you're gonna be like chest bumping and all that, take your jacket off, go have fun, and put it back on when you need it. Like simple as that.
I'll end this segment with a fun fact about boutonnieres. Maybe you know. The boutonniere tradition started way back in the day when knights went to battle. They would wear their woman's colors as more of like a respect thing. So I think that's romantic and masculine. I think that's fucking gangster.
I think it's awesome. I never heard of that.
Neither have I.
See, thanks for the.
Listen, I actually like it though too. I don't know if I'd call it gangster.
No, it's gangster. It's G. Well, do you know where the term best man came from?
Yeah, you said that.
Way back in the day, when you're going to battle, there weren't very many women. So if you wanted a good one, you'd have to go to a neighboring tribe, country, whatever. So you got to go over there and take their women. To do that, you got to bring your best man, someone who's tall, cunning, smart, strong. You bring that guy with you. He's your best man.
Wow.
I have no
So-
idea if any of that's true, but it sounds cool.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
Here's another
No
fun
text given.
floral fact. Why do people hate lilies at funerals?
I don't know.
Because
sounds like a
because
joke.
they smell really strong and vibrant. Do you know why they started sending flowers for funerals? Because they would have a showing in their house for 2 to 3 days,
And the body would smell?
sink before formaldehyde. So they would have to use the most fragrant flowers to hide the smell. So as people pass through the casket, that's why we have
Wow.
I
lilies.
didn't know that.
Did not
Yeah.
know that.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Damn.
when a lot of people who order funeral flowers now are like, we don't want the lilies. Leave them out.
damn.
So before we put a bow on this thing, I want to make sure that if any of our viewers want to get a hold of you, so tell them where they can find you. Are there websites or their phone numbers, both for the floral and the vacation stuff? Like, where can they find you?
Absolutely. So our website is preciouspetalsweddings.com. And on there, you'll have links to all of our Instagram, Facebook account, but those are both at Melinda's Precious Petals. And then phone number 440-241-0083. All of those are intertwined with the travel, so you'll be able to book the travel or contact me through that site.
Nice. And then on our side of things, we always do have to say, we appreciate everybody who's watching this thing. They are liking, they're subscribing, they're sharing. Nick always says, ring that little bell.
Ring the notification bell
Ring the
because
notification bell.
we love you guys.
Yeah, we absolutely just cannot continue to do this without their support. So, been really happy with the way the channel's been going. We seem to be getting some traction. So thank you guys so much for everything.
And next week, we have a new segment that's coming. I threw my own in there, Nick's Picks. We got a little surprise for you guys next time. We're not going to say too much, but make sure you tune in to watch it because it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. Well, that being said, thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
having me.
Melinda.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank
It's been a
you.
That being
pleasure.
said, it's just a wedding. Ow.
It's just a wedding podcast.